What da da danyo, what da dine, and go danyo, oh what da dine.
Yabo!
This is the voice of the patriot, and here we speak truth to power, uncompromisingly. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Be warned. Here we are not neutral. We have taken sides, yes, the side of the truth. That is why we keep saying we are the headquarters of the truth. And from the control tower, this is the office of the patriot, and my name, Blakk Rasta. Now today we have a number of issues we want to look at, and I need you to come along. Straight to the point. If you are ready, let's go. Now the very first story I am looking at today is taken from Ghana Word, and it says, we will sack Mohammed's appointees and reinstate ours with full back pay in 2028. And this is an MP speaking. Listen to the headline again. We will sack Mohammed's appointees and reinstate ours with full back pay in 2028. NPP. Now let's look at who is speaking. Now the new Patriotic Party Member of Parliament for Bosome Freho, Akufo Addo, has stated that all appointees dismissed from office by President John Dramani Maham's administration will be reinstated when the NPP returns to power in 2028. Now, according to him, the future NPP government also plans to calculate and pay all outstanding salaries owed to these dismissed officials from the date of their removal until 2028. He assured people affected to remain calm and wait for the party's return to power, promising that their employment will be restored. Now, speaking in an interview on Movement TV on May 6, 2025, the lawmaker further declared that all individuals currently occupying the positions of dismissed appointees would also be removed by the future NPP administration. Anybody who was sacked by this government shouldn't worry. They would keep their appointment letter safe. In fact, they should keep their appointment letter safe. When the NPP comes to power, all their back pay will be settled and they will be reinstated into office. After that, those who were employed in their positions would also be dismissed and sent home. When their government comes, they can employ them again. So I hear his name is Akufo Addo, and he's the member of parliament for a place called Bosome Freho. Bosome Freho. I must say that this is the first time I'm hearing the name Bosome Freho. It sounds very traditional and very beautiful. Unfortunately, they have an ugly MP here. Very ugly-minded MP, sadly. My brother, my sister, so these are the lawmakers we have. Are these the lawmakers we have in Ghana? Are these the lawmakers we have in Ghana? These are the lawmakers we have in Ghana. The quality of lawmakers we have in our country. These ones. Now, what this guy is saying is that should his party come back into power in 2028, all those who were sacked, all appointees who were removed by the NDC government will be reinstated they will not only be reinstated, all those in their places will be fired. That will not be enough. They would also pay their back pay for 4 solid years. The 4 years they have been at home. My brother, my sister, this is what the MP is saying, and this is a lawmaker. Now, you don't need to take this guy to the surgeon to find out what is in his head. It is dirty oil that is in the head of this guy. These are vindictive guys who do not have Ghana at heart. They are ready for party partisanship. Nothing more than that. Now, if Mahama came in and he sacked some appointees and some other such people, let us find out and ask ourselves, has this yielded any good fruits? Of course, yes. Now the cedi is the fastest growing currency in the world. In fact, according to Bloomberg, it is the world's #1 currency right now in terms of performance. Should we not applaud Mahama? Now, in this country, we do not question issues as related to results. All we care about is party colors. We are only looking at who belongs to which party and what happened to that party. And for that matter, when we return, we would also get our back. We would also fight and be able to do this for our people. This MP is not qualified to be an MP. His head is full of dirty oil. This MP, my brother, my sister, is a disgrace to the Ghanaian parliament. Now, what is the quality of MPs we have this time around? From blackmailers like A+, all the way through to these guys with dirty oil in their heads, in place of brains. My brother, my sister, it is so sad. He's an MP for a place called Bosomi Freho. Very beautiful people, very beautiful area. But they have an MP who doesn't have common sense. He's only just vindictive for nothing. Look at what Mahama has done in just 120 days. He's been able to do away with and do all the rot of this 8 years of crazy rulership, 8 years of sheer arrogance, 8 years of nonsensical irresponsibility. My brother, my sister, 8 years of lies. This is what the gentleman has been able to do. Instead of applauding him, they are only thinking about returning to power in 2028. A big reason they should never return to power. He's already telling you what they will do when they return to power. It's a big reason they should never ever return to power. Now, the radio station on which he went to sit is a radio station that is owned by another gentleman whose head does not work, and he's called Wuntumi. Stark illiterate, my brother, my sister, with no common sense. And this is the guy they have picked to become the Ashanti regional chairman. Why would the party not lose? When they speak, there's no common sense, no reasoning, no wisdom. It's just vindictiveness. Sometimes I don't like using these uncomplimentary terms. I just hope they understand this. My brother, my sister, very vindictive. Oh, Mahama came and he sacked our people. We don't care whether when he sacked the people, the country became better or not. All we care about is that we want to return to power. And when we come back, we will also sack all those people, whether they are performing or not, whether the nation will go down or not. We will still sack them and bring in our own galamseyes. We will bring in our own thieves. It's a shame to this MP called Akufo Addo. And please, Bosomi Frefreho, I honestly don't know the place, but I'll try and find where it is. I will come over and speak to the chiefs Are you short of people with common sense? You bring a guy like this whose head is full of dirty engine oil, and he's sitting there. This is what he's talking. It's a shame. They lower the quality of the Ghanaian parliament. The least said about them, the better. Now, very quickly, I want to look at this from Ghana Web. It says, removal of Chief Justice. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And this is Professor Quaye jabbing critics. This is a member of the NPP. In fact, he was the one who went into the research. In fact, the committee was headed by him to find out why they lost. And he just presented the details of their loss and why. Listen to what he's saying. A former Speaker of Parliament, Michael Quaye. In fact, he is not in my best books from when he started speaking ill about Kwame Nkrumah. His son is somebody that I have a lot of camaraderie with. You understand? Even though I cannot say that we are friends like that. My brother, my sister. But it is not personal. Let's get into the issues. Now, a former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Mike Quaye, has taken a swipe at Ghanaians who are criticizing the ongoing process on petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo. Now, speaking in an interview on Joy News, The Pulse, on May 8, 2025, Professor Quaye pointed out that even though he has issues with the processes outlined in the 1992 Constitution for the removal of the Chief Justice, which he has expressed in the past, those crying now did not complain about it when they were in power. As for these guys in the NPP, I think that they should remove the first P out of their NPP. There's nothing patriotic about this party. Every day, it looks like they brew incompetence and unpatriotic behavior from the factories that they built in the figment of their imaginations. They built factories in the air. They built 111 hospitals in the air. They are good at building castles in the air. They criticized Mahama the other day that he was the only man capable of building a house starting from the roof. But these guys have gone beyond building a house starting from the root. And they are building castles in the air. My brother, when they were in power, everything was right about the 1992 Constitution. Now they are out of power. They said, throw away that dirty Constitution. We are dealing with our party. My God. First and foremost, which constitution mandates you to even have a party? Which constitution gives you your rights as a citizen? Which constitution gives you your voice as a citizen of the nation? Konfobona watna yarefon ama okonfopa betuna wanyinuma or you're sad. This is your former Speaker of Parliament. And he said when you were in power, you had no problem with petitions. Now you are out of power and you are slapping policemen left, right, and center because of petitions. It's a shame. It's a bloody shame. I leave it here. Next thing I quickly want to look at is this from Ghana Web. Randy is not Akufo Addo's relative to be traveling around with a chair. COCOBOD PRO blasts miracles. Randy is not Akufo Addo's relative to be traveling around with chair. COCOBOD PRO blast miracles. And I read. Now the Ghana COCOBOD has dismissed allegations made by Dennis Miracles Abuaje, Director of Communications for Bawumia 2024 campaign. Yes, the Bawumia 2024 campaign. Claiming that CEO Dr. Randy Abbey was seen carrying a leather chair during farm tours. Mr. Abuaje criticized Dr. Abbey, accusing him of complaining rather than delivering on promises. So Randy Abbey says he is not Akufo Addo's relative to be walking around with a chair. Now watch this. Nana Akufo Addo's regime would go down in history as the most incompetent, the most unpatriotic, the most arrogant, the most lying, the most limbless, and all the negative things you can take off. Their only legacy is the free SHS, which they even inundated with incompetence and nonchalance. May I go on? Listen to this. Now, Miracles is saying that Randy Abbey is just going around campaigning. And by campaigning, he is complaining about things that the last government did as related to the COCOBOD. My brother, my sister, every doctor you go to would have to diagnose the problem before it is solved, true or false. I do not believe in leaders who indulge too much in complaining. Once you are able to diagnose the problem, the next thing is to what? Treat it. Solve it. That's why we voted you in. What Randy Abbey is doing now, he's going round familiarizing himself with exactly what is happening in the area. That is what he's doing. And he's telling us the problems that he is seeing. When he finishes and returns to his base, then he will tell us, this is what we are doing to solve these problems. I thought that Miracles would have rather come out to say, oh, all the complaints, he's lying. We did our very best. We did this, we did this, we did this. And what he's saying is not true, it's non-existent. So what Miracles is saying that truly, what Randy is saying is correct. They were very limbless when it came to the cocoa area. No wonder our cocoa, in fact, descended into oblivion. And cocoa farmers were running all the way to Burkina Faso and other places selling their cocoa. In the regime of Nana Akufo Addo, we saw countries like Burkina Faso, Togo, and Benin, which were never ever noted for cocoa, come up for the supply of cocoa. Where did they get their cocoa from? Ghana, through smuggling. And instead of shutting up for the work to be done, Miracles is saying that even though they have beaten us as snakes, we should never cry. Does it happen like that? I leave it here. My guest is already in, so I'm going to be inviting my guest anytime soon. But let's look at this quickly. Yes, let's... All right, my guest is in. I think I have to leave it here. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate you and I love you. It's been the Black Port. I beg your pardon. The voice of the patriot. And